Welcome back to Capitalized. Today I'm joined by Rachel and Chris San Roman, a powerhouse couple who flipped dozens of homes and built a top tier training program for aspiring investors. We talk about how they got started, what it takes to succeed in the flip game, and how they're helping others do the same. Let's dive in. Okay, so today we have Rachel and Chris San Roman. They're a couple from Houston, Texas. They do fix and flips and they teach a lot in real estate. And today we're going to be asking them a couple questions, just learning from their journey and what they've done. Okay, so how did you guys get started in real estate first thing?
I think we started back in San Antonio, but that was a really part-time real estate investing. We did a couple of flips here and there. When we moved to Houston, Chris was doing medical sales, and I just didn't see him as often as I wanted because I wanted to have our family united and so forth. So I started the real estate business, and I kind of dragged him into it.
Oh.
So that's how we started. We just wanted to have more time together and be able to learn the city
Okay.
instead of taking separate cars at different times because he might
Yeah.
have to leave us and so forth. So that's kind of how we started, and it's been great since.
So it was more about just overall having your family together at first. Just that was the motivation behind you guys getting into real estate.
Honestly, yes. When anybody asked us why, that was really the reason why, just to have more time, more freedom, and just be able to see each other and start something where we could grow it together.
Wow. So do you guys have any prior background in real estate or what was the original thoughts coming into real estate? Like what did you guys know before you get started?
No, like you said, we did do a couple of deals before, and joined different groups and read and then looked online whatever we could do at that time, and that's really how we got started. One of those things where we've always been interested in it, and everyone talks about it, and we decided to just go right deep in.
Yeah, get training. That's really what we did and learned as much as we could from everybody that made themselves available to us. All of the resources we could possibly get, and that's really how we started.
Wow. Wow, insightful. Okay, so what was this? Did you guys both do this full time? So is real estate your full time jobs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so what was the specific deal that really made you guys think, wow, this is what I meant to do. This is something I can really build on.
So I think we probably have different deals that changed it for us. Um, Although I knew I wanted to do this because of my family, at first, I don't think I was really 100% in because I always, whenever I do something, I have to feel like it has a bigger purpose, right? It has to serve more people than just me.
Yeah.
So when we first started, I was like, oh, I feel so bad. Certain people are in certain situations, and sometimes we buy their houses, and I felt horrible about it in all honesty. And it wasn't until one deal that we went ahead and purchased. This was in San Antonio. Uh,
Okay.
we bought it, the people were losing it, and we just helped so many people through that transaction. Um, we helped a couple who needed somewhere to be. His the the husband was disabled. The wife was the only one working, and they were bringing in their child with their grandson. And to be able to help them find a home was incredible. So not only did we help the other people, the original homeowners, we
Yeah.
helped them from being in foreclosure and ruining their lives for at least 10 years. And then we helped this couple that didn't have anywhere to go. And then we helped the contractors at that time have work because the house needed to be renovated.
Yeah.
And then we had a little bit of money to survive as well. So I was just like, that's really impactful. How many people you can help doing this was really what did it for me. And
Wow.
Chris might have a
Yeah,
different one.
so we'll go and talk about a flip that we did here in Houston. you run numbers, you look at them, and it looks great, and you start getting into it. Then you're learning all kinds of lessons, and it's great how you can go from not having just looking at like a canvas, if you will, just a blank canvas, the house, and it needing work, but you just don't know what to do quite yet. Working with contractors, working with lenders, working with everyone, and learning how it all comes together, and then you start seeing all the repairs get done, and it's just mind blowing. And it as easy as it sounds sometimes for some people, oh well, I'll just paint and some sheetrock and tile. It's great to see it all come together. And then yes, you do get paid at the end. And although the getting paid is great, it's awesome. It's just the process that we go through because a lot sometimes a lot of us don't think we can do it. So you start going through the
Yeah,
process and learning lessons, and it shifts your whole mindset. And
yeah,
so for her, it was more helping families. Mine too was, hey, it's all coming together, and it's great after you close, after you sign, because it's a huge stress of relief, and you make a little bit of
relief.
money along the way. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Okay, so when did you guys shift to? I know you guys are originally from San Antonio or lived in San Antonio for a while. When did that move to Houston happen? And then, especially on your real estate journey, what was the effect on the move to Houston?
That was just through work, and we ended up coming to Houston. And when we got to Houston, we wanted to join a group, a local group, so that way we could see and meet the people that we were going to be working with. It's great, sometimes to try to do it by yourself, and you're learning, and then you start realizing there's a ton of roadblocks and a ton of stuff you
Yeah.
don't know. And that's what we went through in the very, very beginning, before we joined any other group. So after we joined the group, we joined someone local so that way we can talk to people, network, and uh, really being new to a city, you want those connections because
Yeah.
you don't know left from right, south, west, and
At all.
which neighborhoods to join or to invest in or whatnot. But that's what we did. We ended up joining a local group and just network. It's people don't understand how important it is to network.
At all. No, I believe that your network is really your net worth. It's about who you know, not what you know, because you can
Right.
always figure out the details behind it, but the right door is just one person away. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, you never know
Yeah,
who you're gonna meet. It, like you said, it
at
could,
all.
excuse me, it could be that one person that changes your life, or your situation or something.
No, I agree. Okay, so on the first fix and flip deal you guys had, how was it getting a lender? Because I know you guys were very new to it. I know a lot of people struggle with getting lender, getting somebody to believe in them on their first deal. How did you guys navigate through that process?
Well, our first fix and flip, we didn't need a lender. Um, because we used some of the strategies that we teach, we didn't need a lender, thankfully. So I think our first few flips, we tried to get them strategically to where we wouldn't need a whole lot of money to pour into it. And it was amazing because that then built up our portfolio. So when it was time to need our lenders to ask for a lot of money, it was way easier because we had already had houses that we had flipped before. So that really helped us a lot.
Yeah, and I will tell you that a lot of these lenders do require some kind of experience.
Yeah,
They check credits, and they want to know what you've done. And sometimes being brand new, it's hard to say, "Hey, can you lend me money for this project?"
yeah,
Especially when I don't know what I'm doing. So that's why we truly believe in partnerships and reaching out to those who have gone before you, to make those mistakes. Sadly enough, that's just how we learn, and it makes it a lot easier for people to work with lenders, especially when you partner with someone.
yeah, with more
Lenders don't want to see
experience.
that, hey, I did this deal and it got ruined. I ruined it. They want to see success because a lot of them, believe it or not, want you to be successful also. And of two, they want their money back at the end.
Yeah, no, I agree. Wow. Okay, so the strategies you took, can you guys elaborate on the strategies you guys teach if you feel comfortable at all doing that? Is it more of like you guys leverage credit cards? Because I've heard of that previously that a lot of people leverage credit cards, or their alternative financing like hard money loans or other ways.
Yeah,
What
no,
is the primary you guys use?
that's a great question. I know a lot of people. So traditionally, we're taught to leverage your own money, your own,
Yeah,
credit, your own credit cards and line of credits and take loans out of your house and your cars and your land and your grass, everything in between, right? They tell you, hey, use your own stuff. The truth is, if a deal is there, there's money. And what I mean by
yeah,
that is a lot of us don't understand how to network and how to meet lenders, whether it be private or hard money lenders. These people, that's what they do for a living. They can look at a deal, let you know whether it's a deal or not, and if it's a deal, they lend to you. I think a lot of people stress too much about, you know, they want to find the money first. The truth is, find the deal first and then go look for the money because the money's the easy part, and it's a mind shift, and something that we teach our students is we think of it backwards, right? We think of it, I need the money, I need the money. The money's there, believe it or not. I
yeah,
mean, and it's hard to understand sometimes, I know, especially if you're new. The money's
yeah,
there. If you get the deal, you pitch it to someone, and if it goes through, then you know it's a deal. A lot of people say, "Hey, well, I've got this deal," and they pitch it to people, and then it's people did excuse me, people deny them for the loan or for money. The truth is, if they deny you, it's because it's not a deal. The worst
yeah.
thing to do is turn around and make that deal, like they
Happen.
say, yeah, happen
Force it.
and force
Force
it.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't ever do that. I mean, and it's just business yourself. If it's not going to work out, it's not going to work out. So the money is there 100%. The deals are a little harder to get sometimes, meaning the properties.
yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, I feel like a key point is you just can't get emotionally attached to a deal. Like you can't
Oh,
let your emotions ever really control your thought process because if you go down that rabbit hole, I feel like that's how a lot of people get stuck on deals or mess up with their deals because they're so attached to one deal. There's always gonna be an abundance of deals. You have to be willing to look and do the dirty work for it.
definitely. I think even with rehabs, a lot of the times we get students that want to make it their own, right? They want to make this house beautiful, which is great. But let's say they can't afford marble and they're putting in marble because they personally just love marble. And we're like, no, there's alternatives. There's beautiful quartz that looks just like marble. Things like that. You're not going to live in the house. Some of
Yeah,
the people that are going to buy this house or even rent it or whatever you're going to end up doing with that particular house, they're not maybe looking at those things that you're looking at. They don't need the gold faucets. They don't need maybe the black ones. You have to kind of leave it a
yeah,
little bit neutral because everybody has different tastes. You want to leave it open to the general. Just anybody can walk in and just fall in love with this house. That way you have a better chance of selling it.
And not only
yeah,
the flips that we're talking about, but even the leads, like you said. I mean, there's a ton of excuse me, there's a ton of strategies that we utilize, right, to make sure that we can get the deal done. But some people get too emotionally involved. You're right with the house itself, with the situation, especially foreclosures and all of that. The truth is what it is, and if you get too emotionally attached, then you spend hours upon hours upon hours on this deal and these people, and it's not even a deal, period.
yeah,
So then you spend all that time with one person, and there's a ton of people that need help, right? And I think that's the biggest issue. So I think two of the biggest ones is someone putting too much into a flip, making it their own because they like it. Don't do it because then you spend more money because you already know a
yeah,
lot. Some people have different taste in things, and then the other one is just too getting too emotionally involved with sellers who just drain you. And sometimes some of these people just have issues that are beyond our control, and sometimes theirs. And there's some truly who want the help, who need the help, who will work with you to make things happen. And those are the people you need to spend time with.
And it's crazy
yeah,
because we all do it. I mean, as long as we've been doing this, we've we've been there. We've
Mm.
done that. I remember one lady in particular, and she never leaves my mind because we spent so much time trying to help her. Um, she had a disability. She didn't have, I guess, the resources to move around and do a lot of things, and of course, she wasn't tech savvy, and so she was getting all these letters in the mail and she didn't really understand them. She had children that could help her, but they weren't helping her, unfortunately. So we kind of took her on like a, hey, let's help her, let's get this done for her, and so on and so forth. And in the end, it makes me so mad, but it's okay because it was a learning process. She went ahead and sold her property to somebody else. And it
Wow.
was for a crazy amount of money. It was like $500 or something like that.
Difference.
500.
Yeah, $500 more than what we had offered. And we had done so much for her. I mean, literally helped her move into like an apartment. And just because we felt bad for her situation, and I mean, ever since then, we're like, okay, we can't be that nice.
Yeah, and it's because I mean we're there with her with the bank, and she needed food, and one day she said, "Hey, I have all these paperwork. I have all these letters. Can you come?" The bank just sent them, so I went,
Well, we
and
asked her, can you send it to us
oh yeah,
via
yeah,
email?
and
And
she
she
said yeah.
didn't know how, so we went.
Yeah, that's why we would go. So we went, and we had just bought a few groceries because it was her and her son. And as soon as I pulled up, he had just gotten home, and they had a van, and he opened the back, and he didn't know I pulled up. I had just parked, and he when he opened the back of the van, he had a ton of food. And I said, "Hey, I thought you guys needed food. Where'd this all come from?" "Oh, we get donations from people." And I said, "Here, we thought
Wow.
that you didn't have anything, and then come to find out that a lot of people help her, a lot of different organizations help her." And it's like, man, and I think that's really what changed. And I'm not saying not to be nice to people, but sometimes giving too much of yourself, like you said on these leads, it's emotionally draining. And then
Yeah.
you're right. We instead of driving around back and forth, we could have been doing
Helping
other deals.
others.
Yeah.
Helping others. And I mean, just unfortunately, some people do take advantage
Yeah.
of your generosity. So just be careful.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I like the fact that you guys are always having in your mind that you're trying to help people. A lot of people in this industry is more. I don't know if you guys have met a lot of people like this, but I personally, and I'm in commercial. A lot of people in commercial are very cutthroat, very. I'm getting my money, very, very no emotions.
Yeah.
It's refreshing to see people that actually want to care for the people, especially in fix and flip people that you care about the tenants, you care about the people that own the properties, you care about their well being. That's refreshing.
Yeah. One of our first flips, we had met another couple. They had their mother that was still alive, and she was living in the house, and we were able to negotiate with them purchase price and everything else. And what that did was that allowed her, the mother, to move into a facility to live, like a nursing home, right?
Yeah.
And it just changed their lives. I mean, he was just stressed out because they're always having to check on her. He worked a lot, and his wife worked a lot, so they couldn't come check on her often. And the other siblings just lived outside of Houston, so it was really difficult for them. So yes, up front, you look at dollar bills, you look at all the numbers, but then you look at the family and the lives that you change. And it may not be a big deal to some people as far as making offers. So and I'll get back to the story, but there's a couple of different types of people, right? Some people that just look at numbers and, hey, if I don't make this, or I need to make this,
Yeah.
I don't care how I'm going to make it or what I have to do to, burn bridges or whatnot. I'm just going to make it happen. And then there are some that say, hey, well, you know what? I may not be able to make 10,000 on this one. Maybe I'll make 8,000 or whatever the deal is. But if deducting 2,000 from the deal, and I'm able to help somebody else and make a difference in their life, if that's really the motivation. A lot of people get into this business just to make money, and there are some people who get into it to really change lives, change families, and to make money along the way. And we truly believe that if you do that, if you have that mindset, hey, what can I do to help them, show them all the different options, then it's always going to come back to, I mean, 100-fold. So with us purchasing that house, and her going. In fact, they were really, really nice. They invited us to their church, to their car meets, and everything else. So we stayed in
Wow.
touch with them. Yeah, but those are the relationships. We're very, very relationship based. We want to make sure that we are creating these relationships because this is what excels us. This is what helps us in business. And so she's living well, and she's doing a lot better than what she was. She has the attention she needs.
Wow, that's good for them. Yeah, no, I love the relationship approach. I love that the fact that you try and help people. Like I do commercial real estate, multifamily, and my multifamily properties, the ones I currently own and the ones that I'm gonna purchase in the future. We plan to have programs for kids, especially after school programs, so they can get food. Because parents sometimes are working or doing other things, or they can't afford it because of rent. It's just my way of trying to just give back. You know what I mean? And I love helping people, and I love that you guys help people. It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Okay, so
definitely. Oh, go ahead.
no, no, sorry.
I'll say we definitely believe in helping people also, and I'm sure we'll talk about that in a bit. So
Yeah. Okay, so back towards the fix and flip. How do you guys choose your markets, and what makes a deal worth it in today's environment?
today's environment's a little
Yeah.
tricky, tricky to navigate. Um, we look at a few different things. Uh,
So a lot of the times, I guess it just depends. We like to tackle things like people that are distressed. So whether that be people that are going through foreclosure or getting divorced, or
Taxes.
yeah, taxes are behind on taxes, things like that. So we don't necessarily pick a market or an area necessarily. We pick situations. I mean, there are times where we find we've worked in a certain area and we just really like the outcome of that area, then we'll say, hey, let's go door knocking in this area, or let's send out postcards to this area, or something like that. But it usually us, we don't necessarily just pick an area.
Yeah, we're kind of
Um,
everywhere
yeah.
because there's deals everywhere. There's really deals
Yeah.
everywhere, and then uh, we look at a handful of things, and a few of the things that we look at whenever we run numbers are Rachel. This is her favorite part, so she loves to run all the numbers and
We just make sure it's going to make sense. Make sure I like looking at, let's say we find somebody that needs help and needs to, let's just take a foreclosure per se. So if they agree they're going to lose the house and they decide to sell it to us, right? So I just look at the numbers, look at the area, see the neighborhood specifically. I really like to try and stay in the neighborhood. If there's not a lot of comparables or comps, then I will expand my search a little bit further to like the surrounding neighborhoods, but I really do try and stay in the neighborhood and see what the numbers are in that area, see what the ARV is, which is the after repair value,
Yeah.
and see what we could possibly sell the property for. From there, of course, we have to deduct our repairs. And then we also leave a little bit in there for like taxes, bills, insurance, things of that nature that we are gonna have to pay for being the investors. And then we'll make our offer from there. And then after that, so I mean, we have to really hope and pray for the market to be doing well at
Yeah.
the time, because it is a risk. I mean, a lot of people, when we visit these homeowners, they always think like, no, you're going to get rich off of my property. And I mean, a lot of the times it's teaching them like, no, we're really not getting rich off of your property. Um, Sometimes it's a huge risk, actually. It's a huge risk that we're taking on. We don't know what's behind your walls. We don't know what's in your plumbing. We don't know if you've taken care of it or not.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that's a few of the things that we look at, and that's how we make our offers. And that's how we kind of choose whether we're going to do that deal or not. Can we get it at the right price? Is that price worth us taking that risk? Because we can't lose. We don't have anybody to turn to and be like, hey, I really lost and I need money. Like, no,
Yeah.
we're in this alone. And we need to figure it out all out on our own. So if we need to buy right. So as long as the numbers make sense, then that kind of dictates our market and what we're going for and so forth. So I hope that answers your
Yeah,
question.
and a lot of people get into real estate or invest in themselves and these programs and spend, a ton of money to become desperate buyers. So they say,
Yeah.
I need to do this deal. I need to do this deal because I just,
I spent
I
so
spent,
much money in
yeah,
training
on these
already.
courses, or I've been, studying and studying for 2 years, so I need to do a deal. And then they buy wrong, and that's when the problems start. It really depends on how you buy, which will determine whether or not you make money at the end. And then the market. So, yes, with the market and this, there are still flips that you can do. You just have to consider the days on market and the areas, and it makes it a little more difficult. But like we always say, if you only know how to do fix and flips, then if the market's bad, then you just sit on the sidelines. Therefore, we always recommend that you learn strategies, and which is what we teach as well, because you have to be able to pivot and move no matter what the market is doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so do you guys take out loans or any type of loans when you guys do builds currently? How does the
Loans from like our personal credits, or from lenders, or
from lenders at all?
Yes.
yes.
Okay. How does the like how many days does it typically on market your properties, and then how does the carry cost from them being on market longer affect you guys and your return?
Yeah, so we talk about buying right, right? Up
Yeah.
front, you want to make sure you buy right. So once we get a property, we go speak to a lender, say, hey, this is the property, these are the comps, these are the repairs we have. Does it make sense to you like it makes sense to us? And if that's the case, then we start working with title. We get them in there, and the money's dispersed. They help purchase the property itself.
Yeah.
Now we own the property, and then as we're doing rehab, they'll give you draws. So um, with those draws, obviously you're doing work to the property. They'll come inspect and making sure that everything's getting done the way it's supposed to. And after that, after it sits, you're still making monthly payments throughout these months that you
Yeah.
have it, right? Because it's rare that you find a lender that says, "Hey, you don't have to pay me anything every month. You can pay me at the end." If you have a lender like that, then talk to us. We want to meet him.
Be very nice to
Yeah,
him or
yeah.
her.
Yeah, but those are, if you really do have lenders like that, then those are the people that you need to treat right and not screw over, for the lack of better words. But it's just the truth that, again, it's relationship based. If these lenders see that you are taking care of them and looking out for their money, that'll keep the money flowing. And when I
Yeah.
talk about that, I mean that even though it's not our money per se, if you're lending us money, we treat it like our money. And we,
Yeah.
we try to pinch every penny, making sure that we don't make the wrong moves. Because once a lender sees that you care for it like he cares for it, man, I'm telling you, the wallet's open. And he tells his
Yeah.
friends and other friends, they talk. So yeah, we do borrow money, and we do pay monthly interest to them at the end. Once it sells, then they get the 100% of their interest or their principal back.
The
And
balloon payment.
whatever's left is what we make.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
definitely try and finish our projects quickly, because you don't want to be in a situation where you're blowing all of what would be your profit in payments, in interest payments,
Yeah.
or extensions and things like that. So it's a bad situation to be in. So don't do
We we always we always stress, look, the lenders are literally your lifeline. These guys are the ones who lending you money. So don't ever, 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 ever in your
Or-
lives screw one over, miss payments or anything, make excuses why I can't pay you. Do what you got to do to make those payments. And
Yeah.
sometimes just talking to them, say, hey, it's not really going well, or something's going on. Can we, discuss another option or two? Just be open with them, be honest with them, and you'll have money forever.
No, I agree. Honesty is super important, especially the relationship with the lenders.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What's what's the biggest renovation mistake you guys had, or what renovation mistake have you guys had that you learned from?
We're professionals. We don't make mistakes.
it.
Oh man, you know, in the very beginning, you start doing this, and you can read all you want and go shadow people. Then all of a sudden, you're an expert. So you do your first deal or two, and you're like, "Oh, I already know what it takes to do this, and how much." And then he started opening up walls, and holy crap, what the heck just happened, you know? So one of the deals that that we got into looked beautiful from the inside, you know, interior. It looked beautiful from, you know, just looking at it. And you know, it had nice big pictures, you know, it had nice colors on the wall. What we didn't realize is the seller had painted the house probably a couple of weeks before he started showing it. And he would put darker colors in areas that weren't so great and lighter colors, you know. It's so he said, "Oh, these are just accent walls, you know. These look how beautiful it is." And say, "Yeah, it's, you know, just looking at it really just, you know, through the naked eye, if you will, it looked really nice." He moved out, and there was nothing that stood out, nothing really that stood out. But whenever we started, we wanted to change the color, and we noticed a couple of stains on the wall. This is a, you know, supporting wall, vertical wall that uh, this was a two-story house. Well, we didn't realize that because there was no signs of it because he did a pretty good job of showing covering it up. There was leaks through from the bathroom
Wow.
upstairs. So where all the leaks and all the stains were, and these weren't old leaks. These are fairly fresh. He had painted it all up to make it look really nice. So once we started repairs, we realized that all the sheetrock was damaged and there was already mold growing. So we literally had to rip out all of that, treat that, go upstairs and rip up the whole, you know, tub and find out where the leak was. And it was just a drain, which well, the drain pipe, but that was galvanized pipe, right? So if you know about galvanized, it's just they get corroded and
Yeah.
it's a pain. So hence why we typically use PEX if we can change out the whole plumbing. But some of these people, you know, just try to cover it up. But those are just that's just one. I mean, you never know what's behind the walls. And
It's
what we mean by that
individual.
is some people want to take down walls, or some people need to do sheetrock repairs or remove countertops or cabinets, and then you realize that there's a whole ton of mess back there from mold, from water, from animals, from everything. And if you guys have never been into a house where you're about to pass out because of the smell and vomit, you haven't done this enough times. We've seen it all, but yeah, I think that's those are the mistakes. And in the beginning, we know what to look for, right? We know the signs to look for, and we're able to walk into a house and give just repair estimates just by calculating numbers, and we already know. But in the very beginning, that's what really hurt a few times is, you know, thinking we know it, and the contractor at the time couldn't come with us. But this is just how you learn. Unfortunately, you don't learn by just reading books and
Yeah.
watching HGTV. You learn by actually doing it. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. The thing about fix and flips is that every property is different. That's what I've never done a fix and flip myself, but I've heard every property is different.
yes,
Everyone has its own challenges, its own obstacles, and
yeah.
you really don't know the full extent of what you're getting into.
Right. Yeah, it's all the
Yeah.
same at the end, you know, on paper it's all the same, right? You close and you start this and this and this. You have your orders, right? Some people are very meticulous. They have their their schedule, the scope of work and their timelines. Those work better on new builds because you can actually,
Yeah.
you know, but on rehabs, I'm telling you, it's just one thing. Even if it's just electrical, if you got to find it, I mean, it's just a ton of different things. But yes, it's sadly enough, you learn the most when mistakes are made or when there's more work to be done.
Yeah.
Because if it was all perfect, then it'd be boring.
We'd all be
I
doing
know.
Yeah, we'd all be doing it.
No, if it was easy, a lot of people would be doing it. There's a reason that you guys are doing this and you guys are succeeding or excelling, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, and that, I mean, we like to. It's funny because we have a coach, and we invited our coach to one of our meetups, and we really try and tell the honest truth about real estate investing and everything you have to do because it sounds great that it produces money and so on and so forth, but it's a lot of hard work. So we were just talking about at our meetups, like some of the things that we do and walking our people through the process and so forth. And when our coach was like, man, I used to think I wanted to do real estate investing.
Yeah.
And she's like, but I'm glad I came to this because I don't want to do all that. I didn't realize it was so much that you guys have to do to it. She says she always envisioned it literally being like the TV show, like you just walk
Yeah.
in and you do this and it's all done in an hour. So she's like, I really wanted to be a real estate investor and I had really thought about it, but I'm glad I'm not gonna do it. So funny. Uh, and we're all we hate that we changed your mind, but at least you now know. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, and that's the truth. And you've got your HGTVs, you got all these people that are flipping houses, and you see them in a 30-minute, an hour show, and they buy it and they sell it and they rehab it all in an hour, and they make 100 grand or 200 grand, and you're saying, I can do it. Yeah, you can do it. But there's a lot of legal issues along the way. There's a lot of title work. There's airships. There's a lot of stuff that you think you're gonna go in and flip it in 3 months and be sold. If there's title issues, if there's rehab issues, timing because of whatever, labor, material, all of that can take a toll on you. And
Yeah.
that's not only just the rehab, but you're walking into houses that are infested with fleas, with flies, with roaches, with rats, with not to say they're all like
yeah,
that.
no, not all.
But a lot of people, all these gurus want to make it seem as though, oh, this deal's going to be
It's
perfect. You're going to walk
perfect.
into these beautiful houses and you're going to make 100 grand off this. The truth is, like I said, if you haven't wanted to vomit, I mean, we've seen skeletons of animals. One of our flips, we found a
A
dead
dead
raccoon
raccoon in the
in the
Wow.
in the laundry room.
Wow.
Um, I mean, just things. So if you haven't seen any of that, then I mean, we went to a house one time with our students, and we even have video of it, where after we walked out, we were all covered in fleas. I mean,
Really?
oh, for sure, man. I mean, you already know. We already know what to wear whenever we go to properties, because I mean, hundreds and hundreds. There's this one that I went with our friend PJ. They were all the way up to our like hips. I mean, you don't, they say fleas can't jump higher, but man, these fleas were just crawling on us. There was a ton of them, and it took a
Wow.
while for us to do it. So one time we also went in, um, I don't know, I think Rachel was wearing some sandals or something. And
This is at the beginning.
yeah,
What not to wear.
yeah, well, not to worry. We even made a video of it, but she had sandals, and the house didn't look bad at all. And from the outside, and you looking in, it didn't look bad at all. But we came out with fleas all over, and then on your
Wow.
skin, not just on your. So these are just things, and that we tell people, if you haven't been through that, then you haven't done enough deals or walked in enough houses.
Wow. Wow. I didn't know it got like that. I
Oh,
knew
for
it was
sure, yeah,
distressed property. I didn't know it got that bad.
yeah,
Not all of
not all of
them,
them,
again.
but
Yeah.
Not all of them, but there are some, and it's just funny whenever we encounter it, we're like, oh, we thought we were over this part
yeah.
of it, but no.
Yeah, even some from neighbors being crazy to we even had one made a video of it. We were
Oh no.
recording and they were shooting next door and we had to leave and
Like shooting as
yeah,
in
like gun shooting.
wow.
Not at us, thankfully. But it yeah, it was a time.
Yeah.
Aside from the ugly roofs and holes in the roof and you get these sellers, hey, there's nothing wrong with my house, and you walk in, there's huge holes in the roof or huge, it's very unleveled because of the foundation. But yeah,
Wow. Wow. Okay, to move on to I remember like when I first the day I first met you guys were talking about how you guys went to a camp in Kansas, I believe Kansas or one a northern state, and you talked about how they were telling you guys to separate your brands, like
Mhm.
sort of have your own personas, and how you guys didn't believe in that because you guys wanted like the whole dynamic is your couple, and the things you believe in, and you followed your beliefs. Can you guys elaborate on what it does it mean to have both of you guys together, and how has that improved your relationship? How's that improved your bond? How's that improved your business?
So I no disrespect, of course, so we understand their point of view. We were told that we shouldn't do this as a couple, or at least not represent ourselves as a couple doing this. We were told that we should just be on our own. So, like Rachel, you could be the face of everything. You're the one that's going to attract people, or so on and so forth. Or Chris, you're going to attract the men to this and everything, and so on. And it
Yeah.
makes sense. I mean, it makes a little bit of sense because some people don't believe that a woman could do this by herself.
Yeah.
And some people, well, some women might be intimidated by a man to come to a man and ask for help. So
Big handsome man, like handsome like myself.
so it makes sense why they would tell us that. But the thing is that we always try and come back to our why, right? Like we started this because we wanted more time together. We weren't seeing enough of each other. We were separate all the time. We want our kids to know that, hey, whatever it is that we do in life is for the betterment of our family. So we chose not to listen to that. And I mean,
Well, it was I maybe it was so. Another thing she mentioned was build your own brand separate, not together.
Yeah.
What was this thing she said? Because
because a lot of people look at couples like, oh, well, what if it blows up? What if they get divorced? Then what happens to me? So, I mean, we're in it for the long
I
run.
know.
who knows? Excuse me. Who knows what can happen in the future? But I don't know. Maybe she was jaded. Maybe something happened to her, and maybe she built a business in the past with the next husband. I don't know, but she was really adamant about not being together, and I couldn't understand.
Yeah,
And
so
then we talked to another guy right after, and he said, "Oh, that's BS. That's nice words, but it didn't make any sense. But that's why we do it together, not only because to support one another."
and I think one of the things that I think most people have, I think everyone, in all honesty, has some type of support system. And it
Yeah.
might not be a significant other. Sometimes it's family, sometimes it's friends. So everybody has some type of support system. And that's kind of our theory. It's not, you're never doing anything on your own. You always have someone, even if they're not in the forefront, they're somehow supporting you in the background, right? So I think seeing the unity and that support helps. And I think we're really open to helping couples or families and so forth do this business together because sometimes you need that cheer system, like that support system in the background saying like, hey, I know it was tough today, but tomorrow's going to be a better day, and go out and try again, go knock on more doors, and eventually the more no's you hear, eventually you're going to get to that yes.
Yeah.
But when you're doing it alone, it can be draining and you might not want to continue. I mean,
Yeah.
we've met so many investors that they're in it alone and they don't want to do it anymore because it does get hard.
Yeah.
And we've met so many couples also that their partner, it's not that they're against them, but they just don't know how to be with them and they don't know how to help them or what they can do to better serve like this career. So we've had the opportunity and blessing to help a lot of couples better understand each other and what their struggles are and how to help one another. So just to give you an example, we have students that she was all in, he was all in with her, right? Really supporting her in a, yes, you could do this, I believe in you way, but she needed more hands-on partner. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you need to get out there too. You need to present yourself as an investor. And we need to find these deals together. And he didn't really understand that. Like, he was super supportive. Like, I want to help you and whatever it is that you need. But once we got to talking to them and teaching them and helping him better understand the process and what he needs to look for and how he needs to talk to people and so forth, he completely turned around and made a 180-degree turn, and he just started thinking like of possibilities.
Wow.
And it was the best thing because after she was just like, just his whole mentality changed, and now he does tell people, hey, I'm a real estate investor, as opposed to before, he would be like, oh, my wife does this. But he'd never present himself as a real
So
estate.
as a real estate register.
Yeah, it's been crazy, and they've since then done
Deal.
deals, and he's actively looking for deals
Mm.
himself now too. And we always follow up with our students, and our student said, "Hey, let's have another meeting because our our shift is happening, and we need to get back to it." So we were like, "Yes, of course, we could do that." So, I mean, we stay as a couple because you always need the support. And if you don't have the support, and that's fine, we're here to be that support system. That's one of
Yeah.
the benefits that we have with doing our coaching program. But it's always great when you have another support system. So that's why we stay together, and we have no plans of changing that. And God willing, we're always going to be blessed with this situation.
No, I feel like that's you guys' superpower. That's you guys' niche. Because I feel like it makes you guys more powerful because you guys are a couple. You know what I mean? You have double the effort, double the strengths. You guys combine each other. I feel like you guys complement each other very well, especially in the space that you guys are in, a super committed space. It's just nice seeing it.
Thank you. Yeah, we tell people, hey, you're never gonna find somebody that talks about you and your deals more than we do, because it's like if you get one person, well, who do they talk to about it? Like, what can I do to help this student? But us, we're just like, hey, what did you think about this coaching session? What can we do different? What can we do to help them? Let's try this and let's try that. And even our kids have input sometimes because we talk about it all the time. So
Really. Wow. I know that's amazing. Okay, what advice would you guys give to other couples that are looking to work together in real estate?
Just be patient. I think the advice we can give couples and people in general is a lot of people want to spend their time with, you know, trying to study or ask people for advice or showing up to all these meetings and these networking meetings and real estate meetings and try to get all the free coaching and all of that. And not because we are coaches, but we've learned that when you start investing in yourself, those are the first steps. Start networking, get all the free advice you can. Then there's going to be a time in your journey where you're going to stop and say, man, something's not working. I need
Yeah.
something else. We would say to start investing in yourself with coaches, people who do this for a living. And not a coach who, like I said, my siblings or my mom's friend did it 20 years ago. Let me ask them for advice. No, it's people in the space right now who are doing it.
Yeah.
We would be foolish to say that we got here by ourselves. We've invested in ourselves. We've hired coaches for different aspects of our lives and business because we want to be the best. We are the best in our space, and especially when it comes to coaching. A lot of people don't want to because they can't, right,
Yeah.
financially, or because they just don't want to. The danger in not in being able to invest in yourself in coaching and not doing it is you literally going out and doing deals and losing money at every deal. That
Yeah.
money that you lost, you could have invested that in yourself, and it would have prevented you from making those
Losing
mistakes.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think people say, oh, I'm not going to invest in myself or coaching because we had one lady say, I'll never invest in coaching. And
this
she,
was like 2 years ago.
yeah, and she shows up to all kinds of meetings and she's still in the same spot she was 2 years ago. I said,
Wow.
just do it. No, no, I don't believe it. I don't believe in spending money on people who can train me. I said, okay, well, you're still in the same spot.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You need to change something in order for something to change.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
for
I
sure.
mean, if you haven't learned enough from podcasts or YouTube videos or books, I mean, sometimes it's great to have that training. It really is. We're not saying it's bad. By no means are we saying it's bad. Um, but even when you train at a job, you absorb the information, it comes in, and once you get on the floor, you're like, what was this procedure? What am I
Yeah.
supposed to do? And sometimes You just need to say, hey, can you help me with this? And having that person to actually help you is what really helps you. So that's kind of the same thing is the way I like to look at coaching. Get all the training you can, but in the end, you're going to need somebody to walk you through the steps. And maybe they'll walk you one, two, three times, and then you're going to be better at it and you can do it on your own. But until then, yeah, there's no reason to make those huge mistakes if you could have be trained by
Yeah,
somebody.
especially those people who
Yeah.
make the mistake and oh, real estate stinks and I hate real estate. It
Just give
doesn't
up
work.
on it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. Me personally, I have about two coaches I use
mhm,
that taught me a vast majority to help accelerate my growth, accelerate my whole learning process. And I truly believe in coaches, even though it does come at a cost.
right.
But you have to think about it as an investment into your future because they will teach you the mistakes you should. They'll teach you what to avoid. They'll teach you really what to look for. They'll teach you a lot more things than you can get from a book or a
For sure.
podcast or from just hearing it because you're getting direct advice from somebody that's done it, that has a track record of doing it, and that can really implement their vision, their ideas into you. So
Right.
it's extremely beneficial,
Yeah.
and I like what you guys are doing with your coaching because you're helping other people. Now to segue onto the next topic, how did you guys get into coaching people? What sparked that idea? What sparked that interest in the coaching people?
So we were part of a bigger group. Like we mentioned when we first got here, we joined a big networking group or just a big program that teaches real estate investing. And when we first started, we felt, man, we need help, right? Because we read it all, we watched all the videos, and we still needed help. And unfortunately, not everybody's always there to help. And that's understood because they're working on their own. I mean, they still have 9 to 5 jobs, they're working at this business. So they're
Yeah,
really busy. So we had said, okay, once we really learn, then we're gonna want to teach people because it feels really ugly to not know what you're doing and you spent all this money and just our goal was to coach other people. So within that program, we were blessed enough to have learned everything, do all the strategies, do them well, to where we started coaching people just on our own and the people that run this networking, they noticed that we were kind of doing like our side thing and said, hey, would you guys like to be coaches? So we became coaches for that group for 3 years. And we really did a lot for our students. We're doing the more, hey, don't worry about our monthly call. Just call us whenever you have a question and we'll help walk you through it and so forth. And we were helping people call potential sellers and we were just going above and beyond what was needed from our requirements, right? We had certain requirements we had to fulfill. So we were
yeah,
going above and beyond that. And we just were spending so much time helping people. I think it came down to one day our boys wanted to go outside and play football, and we were on a coaching call with somebody, and we were like, yeah, yeah, we'll go right now, we'll go right now, and they were really bummed out. And by the time we finished with that coaching call, it was already dark, and we couldn't go play a football outside. And I, it was just like something needs to change.
yeah,
Something needs to change because the whole reason for this was our family, and now we're not doing what we said. So at that point in time, we are like, okay, well, maybe we can just go back to doing just our requirement, right, for the group that we were in. And then we kind of like scaled back what we were doing and we just started hearing people tell us, hey, maybe you should start your own coaching program. You're doing things a little bit differently. You're helping so much more. And then we heard another person tell us the same thing. And then we heard another person tell us the same thing. And at first we were like, no, we're not. No, we're happy the way things are. It's fine. And just enough people started to tell us that we're like, hey, yeah, you know what? Why not do this? And really help people just kind of make it our own thing with what we feel is more beneficial to people and so forth.
yeah.
And so we went out on a limb and started our own coaching program, and here we are, a year and a half later,
Mm.
almost 2 years.
Wow.
And it's great because I mean, we would love to do everything for free, right? We would love to spend all this time with people. But in the end, I mean, it is our time and it takes away from our children and everything that we need to do with our business as well. So just having the coaching business allows us to carve out certain hours of our day to really focus on our students and really give them our 100%. So,
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's amazing. I like that. I like the fact that you guys are just helping people and go above and beyond for people. Me personally, I would have loved to have somebody like you guys as my first mentor because my first mentor he did the bare minimum, gave the instruction, taught a couple things. When the 5 o'clock hit, was gone. And you guys, I would have just loved to have something like you guys, or just have probably met you guys earlier. I probably would have been doing what you guys are doing currently. If, like truth be told, yeah.
It
But
matters. It matters. I mean, people want to make this work. And when you have someone as passionate, coaches as passionate as you are about it, let's make it work at
yeah,
whatever we need to do, right? I'll do my part if you do your part.
yeah, no, I agree. Okay, what's the best piece of advice for somebody sitting on the sidelines? Somebody's afraid to start. Well,
Um, what are you waiting for? Really, come on. The truth is, what are you waiting for? I don't know what you're waiting for. I don't know what it's going to take for you to go out and do it. We before we take on someone as a student, we do our interviews. We want to make sure that we are going to be able to work well with that person.
yeah,
And if like this, if it doesn't, we don't mesh well, then hey, although we need money, it, I'd rather not, we'd rather not accept anything and salvage what we have with you than to take you on and then just stress out the whole time. Right.
yeah,
And it's just like a relationship, right? If you don't get along with someone, are you really going to invest all that time in them? And
oh,
if they don't respect you, it just doesn't make any sense. But time and time again, we see people, like I said, show up to these events and they're still in the same spot. And I don't know what it's going to take for them. They know what we offer, what others offer. And it's until you decide, and it's really the shift change. And it's something in your brain that'll say, hey, I'm ready. Just like working out or eating or learning a skill. If you're really not that passionate about it, then you're not going to do it until you're ready. We all know when it's time. Or and sometimes it takes other people to say, hey, well, maybe you should start, doing this instead of doing what you're doing now. A lot of it is mindset, and we
yeah,
understand that a lot of 100% of the people, the first thing is fear, right?
yeah,
Well, I don't know how. I'm scared. Well, find the people who know how. Well, I don't have any money. We'll find the money, right? There's plenty of money out there in the deals. There's just so fear, money, the support is another one that we hear a lot of. Is they don't have the support that they need, and that's why we offer the one-on-one coaching, not
support.
just hey, here's all the material and let us know when you have a deal.
Yeah,
yeah, I think the biggest advice would be if you don't have the money to pay towards a coaching program, find someone. The person might be out there. Find someone who is willing to take that time out of their day to kind of walk you through things. Learn as much as you can from free resources. Show up at meetups. We offer a lot of information at meetups. We know a lot of people who do as well. Um, because there's a lot of people who do have just people's best interest at heart and they want to
yeah,
help people. Um, I mean, in the end, I think it may take a little bit more than that because you definitely don't want to make mistakes on houses because that's really expensive. Those are really expensive mistakes. But really find somebody that who has the time and is willing to offer help and just put yourself out there and just start trying. I mean, that's it's that's the best thing we could say. Just start trying and just put yourself out there and surround yourself with people that are doing this. I mean, sometimes just in conversation, you may find that, oh, we're dropping information here and there because it's just part of our everyday conversation. So,
yeah,
and just don't be afraid. I mean, oh, one of the biggest things that Chris was saying the other day was for especially young kids be very careful with your credit. It's funny because nobody ever really taught us about credit, but we knew it was going to be important one day. And even here as adults, we're like, man, our credit is good, but it could always be better.
Yeah.
Uh, it's one of those things that just be careful with what you spend, save, and invest in yourself because it's just like college, just like trade schools. If you want to learn something, you have to put in money to learn or time to learn. I mean, a lot of people self teach themselves, but they read a lot, they do a lot of things. So it's just a matter of you can do it if you really want to do it and just do it. I mean, the market, I wish we would have started this full time in before our kids were born. I wish we would have
And
because
you're always going to hear that no matter what year, what time it is. People always say, I wish I would have started sooner.
yeah, yeah, because prices are just going up and things are changing every day. And I mean, a house that you could buy now for $200,000 in 2 years, you're gonna have to buy it for $400,000. I mean, prices are changing like crazy. So,
Yeah.
what better time than now to get started? Because it's and just even interest rates. A lot of people are saying no because interest rates are so high right now. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is what it is. But let's do it because 2 years down the road, if you haven't done anything, you're going to look back and say, oh, I wish I would have started 2 years ago.
Yeah. No, I agree. The emphasis on just to do it.
Just do
Mhm.
Literally, it's just about making that choice that today I'm gonna change, or today I'm gonna actually make everything I've been thinking about doing into reality. It's that mindset shift that's really important. That's why I tell people. That's why I try and believe in. It's just a mindset shift. You one day you make the decision that okay, I'm going to do this. I'm gonna make myself proud. I'm gonna make my inner self proud, and not be stagnant. Because I feel like being stagnant really slows you down. It really being uncertain and stagnant, it's a different if you're trying to do something, you're really actively pursuing it. Because eventually, if you keep going at it, you'll eventually achieve what you want to achieve. Whether it takes a couple months, a couple years, 10 years, you'll get to that point. But if you're sitting still, you're not going anywhere. You're not making any progress.
baby steps, man. Baby steps. No
Yeah,
matter how big that animal looks to take down, just baby steps.
yeah. Okay, and then what's next for the two of you guys? Do you see yourselves continue doing the fix and flips? Would you ever shift into doing larger developments? Would you ever switch to commercial? What are the plans for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, right now, fix and flips, subject to owner finance, rentals, whether it be short term, long term. Those are things that we do now that we also teach. New builds, we've been part of new builds already, and land development. So, you know, I always say, even if we can't do it ourselves, we have partners to do it. And this is why it's really, really important that you find partners and the people to help you out that you can work with, because I don't know of any one person who knows it all. I mean, maybe he or she's out there, but every person brings something different to the table, whether it's money, resources, education, something, right? Knowledge. And yeah, eventually we obviously want to go into more commercial. We love the residential side. We love to teach about that. But yeah, big picture, and to not only, grow the coaching side, but do a lot of the mentoring to a lot of young adults that we do on the side as well. So different aspects of the business we definitely want to grow. And there's a
Yeah,
lot of people out there who want the help, who need the help, that really maybe can't truly afford it because of where they come from and stuff like that. And that's really important to us.
yeah. Wow. Okay, last question. How do you guys define success as a couple in business, and what legacy are you guys building through real estate? Is this for your kids, or what is the legacy behind it?
I think so. I mean, success is different for everyone, right? So I I personally say success is being surrounded by the people you love and being able to go to that hockey game without saying, hey, boss, I need to leave early and getting in trouble at work. Um, Things like that are super important to me. So that's what I say my success is, right? Being a good mom, a good wife, a good daughter, being present when times are important, and and still surviving, right? And still having a roof over our heads, still having cars to drive, still having food in the fridge.
Yeah.
Um, of course, not lacking on any of the financial needs, but that's my success.
Yeah,
And
success is different for everyone. Someone's success could be, hey, I just want to get out of my job and do this full time, get make enough, right? So some people are motivated by money, and some people aren't, right? Some people just want that time with someone. So the motivation behind it is a series of different things for us, and we've learned that it is for other people. Yes, we are doing it for ourselves now. Yes, we do want to leave it, some money, houses, property, whatever we can for the kids. That's our legacy. But deeper than that, we want to build a name for ourselves in this space, and we're very blessed that we have already of how many people know us and how they know us to be honest and truthful about everything of the deals and how we partner, and the paying students that we mentor, you know, we know that they're getting the value that they need to be able to do these deals. And then on the other side, these young adults that we started coaching, you're talking about legacy. A lot of people, I mean, from us, well, we didn't grow up rich, we grew up poor. We didn't have money growing up. So a lot of things that we've been through growing up, a lot of these young adults want that life as well. They see real estate, they see it that it works. And what we want to do, what we're doing currently is teaching those students, right? So we mentor, you know, in underprivileged, communities, or the course of projects is what we call this, because that's where we come from. We want to make sure
Yeah.
that those guys and girls understand that, hey, there's a way out of your situation, and it's all mentality. You either
Yeah.
want to use the neighborhood as an excuse or you want to use it as motivation. Hence why we now not only do our coaching, but we do a lot of speaking engagements to different high schools, colleges. We network we speak at different functions. We're really, close to the school districts here because we want to show the kids that, hey, there's a way out no matter where you come from. A lot of these people have the mindset, but they use that making money other ways, right? Well, let's shift that and start making money the legal way. And we've been blessed to have already mentored about 5 students already who come from that. And so, yeah, we're trying to grow the investment side because we're still active buyers and, of real estate. We want to grow the coaching side, but also grow the other side to where we're able to mentor a lot of these other students who want to learn.
yeah, so
Wow.
that's how we would define success. But success can be different for so many people. I mean, we have a lot of friends whose success for them is having the Porsches and the Ferraris, and that's great
Yeah.
because that's amazing, right? Those are beautiful cars, and they have beautiful, huge homes, and that's how they measure success, and that's perfect. Everybody's success is different. So that's one of the things too. I mean, you can be very successful doing real estate investing. You can be very successful however you want to measure your success. But it's
Yeah.
always about you looking inside you and figuring out, well, how would you really classify yourself as being successful? And some people say, well, it's just more time, and some people more time with the people I love, and some people say it's having more to provide for the people I love or for myself or saving for my future. So it just kind of really depends, and none of them are wrong. None of them are wrong. They're all right, because success depends on each person individually.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. Okay. I know that I said that was the last question. Just one last
You're
question.
fine.
Okay. Where do you guys see yourself in 10 years? Like, what is the ideal perfect life for you guys in 10 years? Will you guys still be doing fix and flips? Will it be development? Will it be more of coaching? Will it be more of you guys are retired, you just living with your kids, just enjoying? Where do you guys see yourself in 10 years?
Retirement sounds nice. Truth is, it'll probably never happen. Not because of money. We're hoping that, in 10 years we'll have an abundance of money and, but more so because we enjoy what we do. We're really passionate about it. And it's it's tough to stop or slow down once we get here. So in 10 years, yeah, I think I can see ourselves more commercial, more land development because we're currently doing that now and new builds, but at a larger scale. Not
Yeah.
only that, but having other families and friends grow with us, so that way we can continue teaching. So, uh, but yeah, I think in all aspects we definitely want to do that. More so because we're getting older. Right, the kids are getting older. I always tell Rachel, I said, our boys are getting older. Then I look in the mirror and say, "Where's all this white hair coming from?" um, but it's just, I think the peace of mind is really what we want. So if you ask again, where I see ourselves, we just want to be at peace with our decisions. And, not every deal is going to be a slam dunk. We're not going to make
Yeah.
100 grand. I mean, believe me, if that was the case, then we'd have maybe the Ferraris. But you see the power of what money can buy and investing can do for you in your life. So, in 10 years, yes, we'll definitely be in the commercial space. We're definitely going to be, teaching and doing more deals. But me personally, I just want to be at peace and knowing that I've done what I could, you know.
Yeah. Wow.
Same here. I mean, just helping more families, helping more people achieve their dreams, and hopefully in 10 years, I mean, our boys will already be maybe taking this over, and maybe we can retire if they're the ones doing this. um, but yeah, I mean, just being
Which is a bit ironic, right? I mean, I'm sure you interview a lot of other people, and they're gonna say, "I want to be a trillionaire or quadrillionaire, and yeah, I want to have 150." Yes, I think doing the right thing day to day, year to year, you're gonna get there. But then
Yeah.
you're gonna look back and say, "Man, I mean, however you got here, good or bad, was it worth it?"
Yeah.
So probably not the answer that most typically give,
No,
but
it's a good answer. It's an amazing answer. Wow. Okay, so if people want to get in touch with you or reach out to you guys or learn more about your courses and the training or possibly investing with you guys, where would they best be able to reach you guys?
sure,
so I would say probably our candidrei.com.
Okay.
There you could have our phone number or email. Um,
discovery call, we can set it all up there.
Yeah.
So we have that, the website there, in the email, just really quick, is rc@candidrei.com. You can email us. We can jump on a call to see, if we both will work well together. But again, whether you're local here in Houston or outside of Houston, strategies are all pretty much the same. It just,
Yeah.
what really matters or shifts is the city or state that you're in. But investing is investing pretty much.
Yeah. Wow. Anyways, I'd like to thank you guys so much for taking the time out of you guys' day and just for joining the podcast. It was nice speaking to you guys, nice learning from you guys, and I hope truly a lot of people can learn and really gain a lot of insight from this because you guys said a lot of powerful stuff today. So thank
Thanks.
thank
you
Hopefully
guys.
we'll be back on, at another time. And then we do have monthly meetups really quick.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all of that we'll find. We do have a Facebook group and Instagram and all that. So once we get a hold of each other, when we have more time, we'll talk more about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.